people try to comfort Tyler Perry and his editing. It looked fine to me. So Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace was released on Netflix the other day, and people had a lot to say about it. Now, I want to start off by saying I've been a Tyler Perry fan for years. I have many DVDs, have seen the plays live, have gone to, I think, every movie except for Daddy's Little Girl in theaters. I've watched his shows. Like, I've been a very big supporter, being that I like to make videos and things like that. That was kind of a role model of, I could do what he's doing. He was homeless, so at least I've got a leg up in that department. But the older I get, the less impressed I am with him, and I have a lot more critical things to say. Now, when Diary of a Mad Black Woman came out 15 years ago, even then, I was noticing some things that I'm like, okay, this is a professional movie. Nobody caught that. Like, a boom mic was in one of the scenes, stuff like that. But I was like, this is his first movie. Things happen, whatever. It is now 15 years later, and he's still doing that type of stuff, but it's worse. Like, how is the quality of his stuff getting worse and worse and worse? Like, in the beginning, all the movies were hilarious and, interesting. It was Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Reunion, Medea Goes to Jail. Like, those are decent. Meet the Browns. But the more and more he made, the worse that they got. I Can Do Better By Myself was good. But I don't know. I don't want to say that he just doesn't care now because he knows people are going to go see it regardless. But that's what it feels like. I'm also aware that he has not had any formal training. But how long is that an excuse? He said the other day that he writes all of his movies and TV shows by himself. That is not normal. That's not something to be applauding, because if you're writing everything, you're acting in it, you're producing it, you're editing, doing all of this, then you're going to drop the ball somewhere. And he obviously has dropped the ball many places. At this point, the only show of his that I will watch is The Have and the Have-Nots. I didn't mind watching Fall from Grace because it's on Netflix. I'm already at home. I'm not paying anything extra for it. But as far as if he had a movie in theaters, I would think twice about if I want to go and see it. And I definitely am not going to see his plays, because those are like, $60 where they start. And before, I would always, go see him if I could. And I really wanted to see the last one that Medea's going to be in, because I love Medea. But after seeing Medea's Family Funeral, I was like, if this is what you're putting out in the movies, I'm not about to go see the play and, it's going to be some garbage with that. Now, the plays that I've seen, I've liked, and actually like the plays better. But even he has said, like, Medea's Halloween Boo 2 or whatever, he was like, yeah, we kind of threw that together. So if you don't care, why should I care? Like, he knows that it's booty. And he made Fall from Grace in 5 days, and it fucking shows. First of all, those fireflies, are you kidding me? Like, what program did he use to make that? Windows Movie Maker? And then Grace is showering. First of all, the wig changed many times.
Tyler Perry, no, he wrong for this. Look at my girl wig. Curly, right? What the hell is that?
She's talking about she was in a whirlwind. Her wig was in a whirlwind.
We got married, and it was a whirlwind.
He has an obsession with terrible wigs. We let it slide before, but it started in his first movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, that horrible cornrow wig. The scene with them in the restaurant, the white guy in the background is just chowing down on his invisible food and gulping down his invisible water.
Just wondering.
The judge is reading his lines. He has them highlighted on his desk, and he's checking them in the scene. The guy fell down the stairs. He throws his arms back, even though he's supposed to be dead or whatever.
Now he's so damn.
Wait, what's the R?
I don't understand how nobody caught this. And the when she got the text message, it was clearly a screenshot in her camera roll. Like, these are little simple things, very simple things, that even making a YouTube video you would catch. Like, I don't understand. Like, does he just not give a damn? Or does he just, I don't know. He's obviously editing too, since he does everything else. And people say, oh, well, he's black and he's so successful with his studio and y'all just want to hate on him, blah, blah, blah. We can celebrate the fact that it's great that he has a studio, that he has these accomplishments, and still critique the fuck out of him. And in fact, that's all the more reason to critique him so severely. He has no excuse. You have all of these resources that are being squandered. For what? Like, I don't understand what is going on. Like, I really don't want to think that he is just so money hungry that he wants to skimp and save in every chance just to shell out some crap just so people watch it and get the coins. I really don't want to think that. But that's what it looks like, because look at the quality of the stuff that he's doing. Like his sitcoms, the new House of Pains reboot, I guess it's just called The Pains. It is terrible. Like, House of Pain wasn't, Emmy Award worthy or anything, but I was able to at least deal with it. But The Pains and Love Thy Neighbor and just so many things that he makes are just so corny. Just so corny. And people say, well, you write something better. I could write something better, actually, because that's terrible. I don't know. Like, why is nobody pulling him aside? Although, people are watching this stuff. So I guess in his head, it's good. But look at the people that think that it's good. Because most people, at least maybe it's millennials or something, I don't know, think that it's crap. And the people that like it are people that aren't that discerning, that are easily entertained. I hate to sound classist, but it's usually a pretty low caliber of, people that thinks that shit is actually hilarious because they, their expectations aren't that high, I guess, when it comes down to that. Like, there's people that watch Jerry Springer and think that's high quality television. Does that mean that it's so? No. They just don't have many expectations and they're easily entertained. And I think it's the same thing with a lot of the stuff that he's doing. And it falls short a lot of the time. And yeah, he's giving black people jobs, but if the jobs you're giving them, if it's subpar material, is it really anything to write home about? I mean, yeah, you gave me a job, but you got me wearing this goofy ass wig and the writing is terrible. Now, I like the movie for what it was because we've come to expect that Tyler Perry movies are only going to be so good. So I came in there knowing, okay, this ain't going to be all that. Plus, I was a little zooted, and that helped. Hey, it's legal here, okay? But I felt like he could do so much more. For him to have that whole studio and all of these A-list actors willing to work with him. I mean, don't get me wrong, he gave a lot of people work that weren't getting work. Like Viola Davis was in something of his before she was big, and he's, put Whoopi and Angela Bassett, Jennifer Lewis, everybody. What's her name? Danny Newton was in something of his before she got big. Like, he's putting people on, but at what cost? And he has the same tropes all the time of black women going through it and being abused by some horrible man. And then a lot of times there's a man that comes and saves them, but she doesn't want to accept it because she's been done wrong so many times. I Can Do Better by Myself, Meet the Browns, Medea's Family Reunion, Why Did I Get Married? Diary of a Mad Black Woman. But hell, Why Did I Get Married as well? So it's like he just does the same thing over and over and over and over. And what was that one with Tiffany Haddish? Nobody's Fool. It was okay, but it still kind of had the same problems. And I'm wondering, like, is nobody telling him anything, or people afraid? Like, he's saying he doesn't have a writer's room because he had it and it didn't work. And I'm assuming people in that writer's room were like, hey, this is stupid. Don't do that. That's corny. And he got mad and fired them. We might as well get it together and give some jobs to some black writers, some black editors, for real, and the editors, some black hairstylists for the wigs. Like, you could be giving jobs to people that can make your stuff better. Like, he has the potential to make such really, really, really good stuff, and he's not doing it. It's like he kept growing and growing and growing, and then he was like, that's enough, and just started declining, I don't know, now that he has the audience. And he just stopped trying to act in everything, too, because all I could see was Madea. And a lot of the plot points just didn't make sense. Like this this public defender is married to a cop, and the cop has access to all this stuff, and she just started, and now she's like, oh, I don't even want to be a lawyer after she just went through all this to become a lawyer. And is that even a thing where you can just mortgage a house that your name is not on the deed just because you're married to somebody? I believe they were in Virginia. I need to look that up, see if that's the thing. And then Felicia Rashad's character was able to get away. Oh, spoiler alert. Was able to get away even though her face should have been plastered everywhere. It didn't seem to care her son was dead. And how was he even alive after that little baseball bat beating, which also was not realistic. And then he handcuffed her and left her in the kitchen. And then she threw some groceries at him. Like, it was just a lot of crazy shit. And I guess, I don't know. I just really wish he would do better. But tell me what you thought about the movie. Tell me what you think about Tyler's media as a whole. What's some other stuff I can act like I care about to get y'all to comment? Tell me your favorite color. Bye. I'm all leaned over to the side, looking like I'm finna pass out. Shit, I need to sit up. This ain't professional. If I was on a talk show, I wouldn't be. Well, Wendy Williams was laying like this the other day, and she farted. She farted twice. And I watched the clip, and she did fart. She was leaning over like this. She farted on her show. So how you Putin? But we getting off subject. Let me sit up and be professional now that I'm done.